This video is entitled Things Come Around and Go Around and Come Around. You might call it a come around video. I was thinking, at the end of your life you start thinking about things. And my life has been two things: religion and broadcasting. And where did it all start? As I look back on it, it started like this. I was 7 or 8 years old, standing in Southgate, California, on the corner up from the house. And there used to be pastrami shops all over the place. Oh, that pastrami was good. And Mother had given me money to buy a pastrami sandwich. I bought that sandwich. And I was standing there on the corner eating the sandwich when suddenly I saw a green Cadillac. Actually, it wasn't a Cadillac, but for the sake of the story, it sounds better. But it was actually a Pontiac. It was white and green. And I watched it, and it made a turn right in front of me. And I observed this very carefully because I was observant even as a child. And I noticed the man inside the white and green Pontiac was smoking a pipe. And I took all that in. But as the car turned, on the back bumper there was a bumper sticker. And that sticker said, "Another KRLA disc jockey." I mean, I was amazed, and it entered my mind. He's a human being. He smokes a pipe, and he is a disc jockey on the radio. I mean, it was earth-shattering to me. I'm not sure if he was a disc jockey, really. He could have just had a bumper sticker that said that, because the radio stations used to give away bumper stickers like that. But it stuck with me. It was with me even this morning when I got up and was thinking about things. Now, I was a Boy Scout then. Prove it, you'll never get dizzy doing good turns. And in Los Angeles, there was a radio station, KFI, one of the biggest stations on the West Coast. And it was at that station, because of some fluke and an announcer named Clem Glass, I made my first comments, brief as they were, because out of the whole troop, Clem Glass chose me to interview on his big program called the KFI Scouting Campfire. The Mitchell Boys Choir was there. It was a real official radio show. Oh, did this ever impress me. And I still have, on a reel-to-reel recorder around here, a tape of my first thing said on the radio. And if I could ever get one of the many reel-to-reel recorders around here to work, I could play that for you. Because I think there's some things on my mixer here that would allow me to plug in the cassette player and play some of those tapes. So that's all something we can work on. But make a long story short, as I grew older and I became a Franciscan, and I was in Lancaster, California, and I was teaching an 8th grade class. One of the kids' dad was part owner of a radio station in Lancaster, and they were looking for someone to do a religious program. And they thought, why not dim it? That's at least what the kid in the class thought, and he told his dad. And his dad called me and said, my kid says you're really funny, you're entertaining, and we have a talk show and it's going to be on religion. We'd like you to try and see if you'd like to do that. And I said, well, I have to ask Father Superior. So I went into my mentor, Father Superior, and I said, I have a chance to do a talk show, and I think I can do it. And he said, brother, do not be too Catholic. I was wondering, what would St. Francis think about all of that? But anyway, that's how it all started. But there's something interesting about this. That radio station's call letters, which was actually owned by the main business partner in that corporation, was Lee Marvin, the actor. That opened some very big doors for me yet as a young broadcaster. And it came down to choosing between vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience, being quite young, and being a broadcaster. And I thought, well, I'm going to go 3 years before taking these final vow things, because at my age, celibacy and chastity and poverty are things that I better consider before I take these final vows. So anyway, I did that show. And the call letters on that station, ironically, were KBVM, Big Voice of Music. It's kind of ironic. This video is called Things Go Around and They Come Around. That was the beginning of my life in broadcasting. And it's been a good one. People would not believe. When I think back and tell so many stories, I think, how would anyone ever believe this? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. And the Pope, I think, said I had to put a disclaimer on the show. I think that was a little tacky. But anyway, here's the ironic part. Now I'm at the end of my life. It's not just the cancers and the aneurysm and the dementia. There are other problems. And I can't begin to describe what it's like having the dementia. But ironically, here's that go around and come around thing. I listen now to a radio station here in Portland, Oregon. Ironically, the call letters are KBVM. But now it's a Catholic radio station, the Blessed Virgin Mary. Isn't that cool? I started with those call letters being an important part of my life, and now I end my life with those same call letters. And there's one other little problem. Let me address this. I say the rosary every night. You explain to me what's happening here. And it's dementia, because I can lose a fountain pen while I'm writing. I'm not exaggerating. But I was saying the rosary, and I put it down. And then I never just go to bed. I have to go and do things. So I got up, came back, I had laid it on the pillow, the rosary was gone. So I said, wow. And then a little later, another second rosary, the same thing. I said, I can't lose this thing. So I'm going to put it right here on the pillow so I can find it. Went out in the living room, came back, rosary's gone. Is this a sign from God? Or am I just nuts because of this Alzheimer's? I just don't know. And I wish I could show you the video I made before this one, because I let him have it. Particularly my cousin Larry down in southern Oregon. He'd have had a heart attack, so I value my relatives. Anyway, God bless you all. Peace and good.